Yeah, so in continuation of the second video, uh, whenever we are going to utilize Android phone, we can utilize the Kotlin and Android SDK to utilize the Android application. And whenever we are talking about hybrid, then we can go for Nokia and older mobile like which has hybrid coding. So hybrid coding is like Angular JS and all. So what I was talking is, when we talk about any application, it looks like the UI. So the how application is looking, that is UI. So UI is known as the user interface. Okay, any doubt? Let's say if you open IRCTC platform or web application, there is a slight difference between web application and website. Okay, I will tell you the difference. So website will give you the information about that company, or information about the online portal. Okay, let's say if you open Wikipedia for any country, you get to know about the you get to know about that country population, area, states, etymology, mythology, political view, geographical view, etc. And but when you talk about web application, so website will give you the information of any stuff. Okay, let's say if you type in Google Arctic Sea, okay, it will lead you to the Arctic Sea website, and you can understand like how Arctic Sea looks like. You can go through the images, videos, and what is the length of it, what is the width, what is the temperature there, and how it looks like with other continent. So website will give you the information about anything, but when we talk about web application, it will provide you the features, as well as you can do the functionality also. So it provides us the infrastructure as well as uh, working capability of the user. So if you talk about indianrailway.in, so you can come to know about Indian Railway, how many trains are there, when it got established. Okay, and what are the zones are there, what is the divisions are there. So these information we are getting from the websites. When we hit the IRCTC user registration page, so that is known as the web application. Whenever we are going to apply any function to any website, then that is known as the web application. Okay, in website you cannot touch anything, you can just read it, and you can understand what is this like. If you type Ganga river, you can understand like what is Ganga river, what is the length, from where, from which state to which state it flows, and the history of Ganga river, and what are the sacred places that is located near Ganga river. So that is known as the website. But when you go to IRCTC, or when you go to net banking, so banking also have two types of website. One is web application, one is website. So website is, let's say, if you go to hdfcbank.com, okay, so what it does is, we you can come to know about what is HDFC bank. But when you go to net banking, then you can do your own stuff. Am I right? So that is known as the web application. So coming to Spark, when we talk about human behavior, or artificial intelligence. So when a client requires the top 10 employee, let's say last month the revenue of the company was very huge. Okay, and client needs to recognize the employee. Sorry, client needs to recognize the employee who has done a tremendous job for the company or any organization. So there Spark comes into picture. Whenever we are going to filter the data, whenever we are going to process the data, okay, in a frequent of second, that is lightning fast, then we can include Spark as a data processing engine. Okay, it provides us a framework, or you can say it provides us the facility where we can understand how data is working and how data is behaving. Any doubt? So when we talk about Spark architecture, it has core. So core will be the like basic level of the Spark core. When we talk about the graphics of the data, Spark graphics, MLIB, machine learning. So machine learning provides predictive and analysis of the data. Then data sets, data frame. When we talk about SQL like queries, Spark data frame will be useful. When we talk about file system, Spark dataset will be useful. And nowadays, earlier what we had to do is we have to manually keep the records, and let's say flood came or something, some disaster happened, all the data will be lost. Okay, so now we are saving the data digitally or in cloud. Okay, so cloud came into picture when we require the data as when we require the data as to store virtually, or whenever we need a require, we can create our own ecosystem and we can hit the URL and then you can fetch the data. We can have the store. But before 50 years, 60 years, 100 years ago, the data was stored manually. So sometime data can be stored, or sometime data can be, stolen or something. So the big data engineer on day to day, what it does is they keep the track of the records online. They use the big data. The name itself, big data, means huge amounts of data that is processed using big data engineer. Okay, so here also three types of roles are there that we will try to cover up. If not, then in next video. So one is big data developer. So the person who develop the data, or you can say who works on the data, who ingest the data from the different sources. Okay, so basically what we do, we take pictures and we try to keep it locally in our system, right? So same thing, big data people, what they does is they try to process the data and try to save into the cloud based platform. Okay, so big data developer is responsible to ingest the data from the different sources. Okay, from source file like CSV file, Parquet file, to the databases like memsql, any cloud based platform or Hive. But when we talk about this one, when we talk about big data analyst, what it does is it do the analysis of the data. Okay, that is called as business analyst or system analyst. Analyst means the behavior of the data, how data behaves, what is going to be the next 10 years of the data, and so they do the predictive analysis, adaptive analysis, and they do the risk analysis of the data. Sometime the data which we show to the customer that is not useful, so to remove the erroneous data, data engineer do the data pre-processing. So all about data is data engineer, like big data engineer, big data developer, they develop the code, big data analyst, they analyze the code, big data tester, they test the big data code, and finally big data admin, they do the setup of jobs like